I don't feel cringe when I approach women, and I attribute a lot of that to my morning ritual. So today I'm going to walk you through that. I'm going to teach you what I do in the morning, first in the morning, and I'm going to tell you why it works as well and why this is connected to cringe. So if you feel like you're cringing out girls, or if you feel like you feel the cringe when you try to approach girls, this will help you effectively stop that so that you can maintain composure. You can approach a girl, look her in the eye, and like stand your ground, remain grounded, so that you can, after that, create the connections and the relationships that you want. This is what we're all about. And if you want help with this, link is down in the description below to apply to work with me. Now, I'm at a bar the other day, and I walk into the bar, and I even talked about this in a previous video. And I walk into the bar, and this dude spots me. Like, he immediately sees me. He's like, how you doing, bro? This, that. And it's a dude that just recognized me. I had no idea who he was, but apparently I had been to his birthday a few years ago, and he knew who I was. Thank God I was memorable for him. So that helped me relax a little bit and find the first people I connected with at the bar. And we shot the shit for a couple of minutes. But while I was chatting and yapping away, while I was chatting with him, I turn around and I make eye contact with this girl. So I'm like talking to the dude, but I'm like very severe eye contact with this girl. She looks away first, and wouldn't you know it, the dudes go away a couple of minutes later. They went to grab a bite, and I immediately make a beeline to the girl. I look her in the eye, and I'm like, yo, I saw you just a moment ago. Who are you? What's your name? And I was very sincere, and I was very authentic, like I just was at the camera, you, right now. So we start chatting. It's her and another girl sitting down at a table, and I'm standing in front of them. And it's very evident to me, and I guess to anybody that knows their shit, that, okay, I'm being put on trial now. Like, I'm being sized up. Like, the girls are going to check me out and make sure that my vibe is cool. Like, I'm worth talking to. So the first 30 seconds are kind of a vibe check. And if you approach a girl, if you do cold approach, if you approach women that you've never met before, you fucking know this. This is like the girls, like, they're gonna at the very least, like, be very focused on you, like with a very stern eye contact, and maybe sometimes they're gonna throw shit your way too. Like, they're gonna make it a little challenging, a little difficult to see. Do you stand your ground? Do you remain grounded? Do they manage to change your energy? Like, are they going to affect you in some way, or are you gonna remain unaffected and right on course? Of course, all this process is completely unconscious, which is a big theme of today's video. I hope the mic is on, which it is. Thank God. And of course, they challenge you, they test you, and if you pass the test, we're good. Like, a connection can be made. They're going to be happy to connect with you and open up to you, and, you know, create a connection, a relationship subsequently with you. So this is kind of what happened with this girl. I passed the test, but at the critical moment, the way I passed the test was this. I felt the cringe coming up. I felt like an emotion billowing up in a way, and kind of like fucking, the emotion wanted me to give in and to start behaving in a way that is not authentic, in a way that is pre-programmed, and in a way that is a little clowny, a little too happy, a little too agreeable, which I made a video about agreeableness up here. You can check it out after this video if you want. So this is the moment that the cringe might happen. This is the moment, this is the critical moment where maybe the girl takes a little bit of distance. Maybe the girl is not completely welcoming, and maybe you are going to fumble it in that moment. So in that moment, I felt this coming up, this, like, the potential to fumble, the danger, the insecurity, the, ooh, what am I gonna do? Like, the fear. And at that moment, the option was available to me to not give in, to withstand the pressure, to withstand the overwhelm. And how this happened is like this. It's almost like if you blink, you'll miss it type thing. But what really happened is, like, my posture went back up because it had started kind of like coming down, and you could see the girl's demeanor starting to change. Like, she was about to, like, test me or challenge me and, like, or make fun of me. and my posture was coming down a little bit because like it was the moment of brief insecurity. And then I remembered to be secure. And then I went back up, took a breath, I relaxed. I realized that I hadn't been relaxed for like a brief moment. And I was able to like bring the situation home, reel it back in. And you saw the girl's demeanor immediately change. She was like, okay, no. She's thinking completely unconsciously, oh no, I made a mistake. This guy is the real deal. We're not going to fuck with him. He's like, I want to hear what he said. Like, let's keep looking at him. So, and of course, past that, everything was fine, and we exchanged numbers, and we've been texting each other, and we're going to see each other soon. We're going to go out on a date. So, very happy, very satisfied. So, this story had a happy ending. And before I give you the reason why I was able to withstand the pressure, to reel it back in, to kind of like put the foot on the brake and not let the fucking car roll down the hill with no control, I want to explain briefly why this happens. First of all, this is something that, unless you're a nerd, you won't know. So all of this process is going to be completely unconscious to you. So what's really happening is every time you are cringe, it is because you're slipping into an unconscious programming that you've had before. So specifically what happens is when you're very, very young, you develop conscious strategies to deal with the stress of the outside world. Maybe there's a parent that is a little too demanding, or maybe there's friends who are a little too imposing. Maybe there's challenges, fears, guilt, and when you are presented with the external sign that you're about to be challenged or whatever it is, and the fear kicks in, you have developed a system, a way of behaving that mitigates that fear, that makes you seem innocuous, that makes you seem innocent. So the threat goes away. And the threat could be your mom. Like, for all her beautiful intentions, your mom could have been coming across to you, the tiny child, as like a menace, right? Like as the devil, even though her intention was to simply love you, right? So all these strategies are completely conscious back then, but like the more you perform them, the more they become unconscious, to the degree that today they're simply your autopilot the moment you see a situation that unconsciously reminds you of that situation back then. So it's an associative memory. So somebody triggers that in you, you immediately slip in this autopilot control. And the way that this expresses itself is that you are inauthentic and cringe. You can't stay confident, you can't stay on point, on target, and stay grounded. Fear gets the best of you, basically, is the best way to put it. So what's the way around this? Something that I teach is identity change, and the way that I work with my clients is that. So a lot of coaches will tell you what to do, which is, of course, I also tell you what to do because strategy and tactics is part of the game. And it's kind of necessary as well. But at the same time, I prefer if you are the guy that does the thing. So instead of teaching you what to do, I'd like to also teach you how to be the guy that does the right thing. Because if I do that, if you swap your identity or the parts of your identity that don't serve you for parts that are conducive to your goals, like if you swap the fucking fear to fearlessness in some way, then the actions that you'll take, you're not gonna have to try for them. They're gonna be automatic. They're gonna be as easy as taking the actions that you're currently taking that are not giving you results. However, once the transformation is done, you're gonna start getting results. Make sense? So the reason is that if you act like this and it's authentic and it's truly you, then the results that you get are perfect with zero effort. But if you just know what to do, you get inconsistent results with a lot of effort. That's why I think that the best idea, if you want to get different results, which if you are watching this video, I guarantee you want different results, is to become a different dude. This is what we're learning here. So one of the most amazing things because I'm undergoing a transformation like this right now. I've done it a couple of times before. I've radically changed my identity, my ego, my personality, how I perceive myself in the world. And I'm doing this right now again for a third time in a more professional way, obviously, because I've learned a lot along the way, right? But one of the most effective strategies to do that is to have an anchor. And the anchor for me is my morning ritual, which is a moment in every day that guarantees that I will spend some time being the new version of me. So what's happening, if we zoom out, is that I've spent my whole entire day for so many days in a row being the old me. And now I'm deciding to be a new me. So I want to guarantee that every of my days, each and every one of my days, will at least feature a tiny fraction of time where I'm guaranteed to be the new me. That is my foot in the door. And of course, we're going to pile on more and more stuff on that. But my personal foot, so it's a great technique to start creating that identity transformation that I talk about. But the most amazing, like the way I do it, my foot in the door is my morning ritual. And the bulk of it is a meditation. And I stole this from Joe Dispenza, and it simply is the combination of a couple of things. Number one, and this is the very thing that helps me, by the way, to bring the point home. This is the very thing that helps me when the moment of crisis comes, where I'm face to face with a girl that I like and everything is at stake, to be able to keep composure, because this is where you lose it. So why is that helping me? So what is this whole method? Now, it's a combination of a couple of things. The first thing that it does is it calms down the body. So this is the meditation itself. Being able to meditate and keep your focus on your breath or on something, or maybe the wall, or whatever it is, it exercises your ability to stay focused at one thing. And this obviously bleeds into other things like how focused you are in creating something at work, or focused on the girl while there's like an external fucking influence. That is great, but the better thing it does is that it calms your body down. So what I want you to do if you meditate, if you want to have an anchor like this in your arsenal, because this is a great tool in mine, is to be able to stay still. You don't have to be in like the lotus position or anything. Like, it's enough to sit on a chair. The only thing that's important is to keep your spine upright without support, so that you can make an effort into keeping your spine there on your own. And when you do this, and when you are able to calm down, what will happen is that your body is going to go to sleep while your mind stays awake and alert. This is the situation we want to reach. So when you get up in the morning, your body and mind are all fucking antsy and, excited. So you need to sit down and make your body just go completely still, completely asleep. Why? Because the unconscious lives in the body. And all these programmings that run you, they live somewhere in your body. So if you're able to completely put your body at rest, then none of these programs, none of these autopilot responses and associative memories are going to get triggered. So that means that you're going to be able to get in there and start the edit process, which is what we need. Okay. So another element that I'm using. So by the way, the whole meditation, the whole ritual, if you will, has 4 parts. The first 3 parts is what I'm proficient with now, and I'm about to get to the 4th part, which is what I'm excited for. And I'm going to report back when this happens as well and keep you posted. But today we're going to analyze the first 3 parts, because they alone are going to be more than enough to start keeping you grounded in the moment of, in the moment of crisis, so to speak. So the first part is the induction, is putting your body to sleep. Once you're proficient with that, once you can do that easily, it's a matter of starting to identify things that run you. So the whole process is this. It's like putting your body to sleep and figuring out what runs you and replacing it with thoughts and emotions that you want. So the next thing I do is I start to recognize the feeling, the predominant emotion that runs me. For me, it's anger. And for you, it's very possibly anger, but there's other options as well. There's guilt. There is fear. All these things. There is sadness, depression, frustration, all these things. Trust me, when you talk to girls, when you're being put on the spot, when you are in a position that you're very aware that eyes are on you, the spotlight is on you, these things come up, and this is what's preventing you from being authentic. So what I do is become familiar with the feeling of anger, how it feels in my body, and so that when it comes up in random situations during the day, like I've spent part of my morning kind of like listening to what that kind of feels like, right? So when it comes up, I'm like, oh, this is familiar. I did this morning. Right? So it's like, oh shit, okay, cool, that's interesting. I'm angry now. And of course, from there, you can easily backwards rationalize to, why am I even angry? There's no reason to be angry, so I can calm down. This is the easiest part. So like half the battle is really becoming aware that you are. And so I spend some time kind of like familiarizing myself with what that feels like. And then the next step is admitting to myself where I'm lying to myself and to the people around me. So sure, I'm lying to the people around me about some identity things, but I'm definitely lying to myself about identity things, and so are you. And the less of that you do, the more authentic you become. And this is the key. This is a big overarching theme in all of my teachings and the way I work with my clients, is that authenticity wins, because it's so scarce. And the moment people sense authenticity, they're immediately magnetized to you. And furthermore, it also helps you create the life that you want, because if you're authentic, you get what's for you, and that's a good thing. Okay, so I'm starting to admit things that I feel that I'm lying about myself to other people or to myself, and admit not just that, but also like what's happening, like what's my innermost, deepest truths and pains, and I bring them up to the surface and I face them and look them head in the eye. And I do this every morning. I spend some time doing that. And then once I'm done with all that, I surrender. I practice the feeling of surrender, because it's good to kind of like understand that there is no control. You can't control everything. And if you surrender to what's meant for you, and have faith that it'll work out, then magically things start to work out. Okay. And the final step, which is kind of what I'm practicing this week, is to start figuring out the thoughts that come from this predominant emotion that are false, and the actions and behaviors that I take that come from this predominant emotion that are stupid. So I've made a list, and I'm still working on it. Things come up every day that I'm like, okay, this should go on the list, or like, maybe this is redundant, I can strike this off the list. And I go through this list every day and kind of like, not only in the morning, but also during the day, start catching myself when I'm being the old me. So this is the fucking ritual that helps me stay grounded and helps me just be on point when I talk to a girl without flinching, without kind of becoming inauthentic, just being able to be open and vulnerable and be who I truly am in that moment while still staying supremely fucking attractive. So I will report back when the fourth step is installed as well, which is going to be in a couple of weeks maximum, which is going to be the positive thing. So this is all about identifying and understanding. And then the fourth step is about creating what I want. So like envisioning kind of like the emotions and the thoughts that I want. And zooming out, you see that what I do in the morning, first off, calms my body down, relaxes me, gives me control, gives me a sense of groundedness that I can pull in the moment of crisis. And then I go over like all the crazy shit that I believe that's not true, all the crazy automatic shit that runs me without my permission, so to speak. And then a little later, I'm going to also be going over how to replace all that shit with the positive, the shit that I really actually want. So doing this thing as part of my morning ritual, because there's a couple more things in my morning ritual, and I'm going to make a separate video on exactly what that is. Doing these things, bro, it's helped me immensely. I highly recommend you do the same. If you do have questions, type them in the comments below. And thanks for sticking with me to the end of the video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.